A new Copilot Studio has arrived, and while it isn't fully baked yet, it does indeed start to set out a vision for what extending Copilot should look like. In my opinion, one of the most important topics connected with finding the maximum benefit you can get from deploying a tool like Copilot for Microsoft 365. So let's take a quick look around Copilot Studio. What does this new experience look like? And what does it simplify for the end users who might be starting to use this tool to make Copilot a better fit for their needs? Before we dive in further, a quick introduction. My name is Nick DeCourcy. I'm the owner of Bright Ideas Agency, a digital transformation consulting company focused on the needs of smaller businesses. I'm also the author of Who's in the Copilot Seat, a guidebook for small and medium-sized business leaders on how to adopt AI technology. If you're interested in learning more about working with me or getting a copy of my book, there are links below where you can get more information. I've recently published a couple of videos on Copilot extensibility, which I'll link below. This continues to be a topic I am asked about constantly, as every business has data or systems their team members need to work with every day that are outside of Microsoft 365. The extensibility options that Copilot offers allows these external systems or data to be usefully connected into the Copilot experience, but the way these features were rolled out initially, in my opinion, made understanding this offer more complex than it should be. By redesigning Copilot Studio, Microsoft hasn't radically changed what is part of that extensibility offer, but has made understanding those options easier in the place where most end users who might find those options most complex will start out. Still, Copilot extension in the form of Teams message extensions and graph connectors live outside of Copilot Studio, but I think when opening up Copilot Studio, the average user will now know what's going on. Gone now is the drab and confusing homepage I highlighted in my most recent video on Copilot Studio, and now something a lot clearer and more reminiscent of its Power Platform cousins, the Maker portal for Power Apps and Power Automate. From here, you can see Copilots you've been working with, which includes custom Copilots, that is a Copilot like this website Q&A Copilot, or what used to be called Power Virtual Agents, and Microsoft's first-party Copilots, such as Copilot for Microsoft 365. You can start creating a custom Copilot from a template, and also we have the familiar Describe it to Create it input that we see elsewhere in Power Platform. As always, all the demos you're seeing are conducted in a demo environment and you are never seeing anyone's private data. In my view, just bringing together custom Copilots and first-party Copilots next to one another in this interface does a lot to clear up the first point of confusion for many users, which was the question of when you enter Copilot Studio, which is supposed to be the place to enhance Copilot for Microsoft 365, why don't you see it as an option? 10 out of 10 to Microsoft for adopting a UI that eliminates that most basic question. If you click on Copilots, you are taken to your list of Copilots you are working on. Under Type, you can see whether this is a Copilot you've created or a first-party one. And while right now I just see Copilot for Microsoft 365 and Copilot for Sales as options, in the future if you're licensed for other first-party Copilots like Copilot for Finance or Copilot for SharePoint, it's indicated that you'll see those too. If we click into Copilot for Microsoft 365, there's not a great deal to see here yet, but I expect, based on the recent announcements at Build, this page may fill up with more options in the future. But if we click through to Actions, you can see already I have a bunch of different customizations available here. This interface breaks down into 4 categories. We have connectors, which are those Power Platform connectors previously highlighted as active for Copilot extension. Check out my previous video for more details on those. Custom connectors, which we'll get to in a minute. Dataverse, which are Power Platform components. Right now I have some Power Automate flows listed here. And prompts, which I also covered in my previous video, as defined prompts you can activate from Copilot. If you click on Add Action, then you are essentially presented with the range of options that were here previously. They are just grouped in a far more accessible and understandable way. The exception to this is connectors. As of my last Copilot Studio video, the only connectors we could access directly as Copilot extensions were a select few of approved compliant connectors you could list out and activate on the backend elsewhere in Power Platform. But now that has changed, and you can see here I have listed 2 custom connectors, one for MailChimp and one we'll look at to retrieve content from Microsoft To Do. Before we dive into more of the detail, if you're finding this video useful, it would be great if you'd give it a like to help it get in front of more people. And if you're interested in seeing more like this, please subscribe to the channel. So if we jump into this connector, you can see we have a name, a description of what it can do, and a linked solution. For each of these, you are creating Power Platform solutions with a connected AI plugin and actions, which means from here you can actually export a solution and import elsewhere if you wish. This creates more clarity around how the different pieces of Power Platform involving Copilot piece together. We can see there are 3 operations added to the connector, and if we look at the adder to do, you can see the various inputs and or outputs you have for that action. Let's click on Edit to understand this a little better. So if I take a look at the Select Actions screen, you can see that I'm looking at 3 actions from the various actions available in that connector in Power Platform. So now I can choose any Power Platform connector and choose actions that both read data and write data. This is a significant step forward from the status here just a couple of months ago. Obviously, as always, Copilot understands these extension options based upon the language used to describe them when you set this up. So whereas I've just quickly pulled this together, you might want to be more conscious of specificity to ensure Copilot understands what you are giving it the capability to do. So I've targeted the To Do connector with the extension I built here. So if we jump over to To Do, you can see I have a basic to-do list with 2 items. By default, Copilot for Microsoft 365 isn't looking at this data, so if I can grab it, that's of use and beneficial to the Copilot user. Using Copilot with graph-grounded chat in Teams, I'll check that my new extension is turned on and then try a request, show me my to-do list items from To Do, and it indeed does pull those 2 to-do items we just saw. There is a problem here though. Despite the prohibition on write actions seemingly having been lifted, I've been unable in testing so far to get this to write. And the reason I think this is probably the case is that Power Platform connectors just aren't built particularly well for a use case where the input you give it can be just about right, but not on the money. Here you can see the Add to Do action in Power Automate, and a required field on this action is the To Do list. Now, as a connector is built for this purpose, you actually connect that drop down to another action that grabs the lists. It populates the nice neat name of the list, but in the background what the connector actually references is the ID of that list. I suspect that this isn't what's happening in the background when Copilot is making a write request, and so things get a little confused. I'll have to work on these options more to fully understand what's going on, as the documentation I've seen doesn't really make this clear at this point. But it's important to highlight that these are still preview capabilities, and so far what we've seen here is largely in line with what the documentation suggests. So this isn't necessarily something broken, it's just something Microsoft continues to work on. But we can already see the power this brings to organisations choosing to adopt Copilot for Microsoft 365. Talking of adopting Copilot for Microsoft 365, have you started that process yet? Do you need help to ensure you get the maximum return on your investment? My new Copilot for Microsoft 365 adoption package puts together all the consulting and training services most small and medium-sized businesses need when rolling out Copilot, and packages them together with one transparent and fully understandable per-user price. I will work with you to ensure your technical baseline is established to get you the best from Copilot, help your leaders understand AI technology, train your end users in how to use Copilot, work one-on-one with your executives to build their generative AI skills, and help you establish the communication and engagement framework that will make you successful in the long term. Availability to work directly with me is limited, so if you're interested in getting this type of help to ensure your business is truly getting the best from Copilot, check out the link below where you can get started with a free, no obligation consultation to find out if this package is a good fit for you. Despite the issue of Copilot extension with Copilot Studio continuing to be one that feels a little like 2 steps forward followed by 1 back, the overall direction of these tools is very exciting. We should remember that applying a powerful but safe low-code framework to the question of how do you make Copilot for Microsoft 365 do more is probably the most complex challenge Microsoft is trying to answer in this product. Already, this is a third path where there are 2 really well-established options. Graph connectors simply let Copilot see more data, and Teams message extensions let you interact with lots of different services, but are reliant upon adaptive card-based UI to act on external data or systems. In Copilot Studio, Microsoft has 3 challenges. Make it simple enough to allow a path for business users to become makers in the context of Copilot for Microsoft 365. Make it powerful enough to allow a conversational AI interface to any data or external service requirement. And make it safe, so an inexperienced user can't inadvertently create an extension that deletes all the data from your third-party CRM. I think in these updates, Microsoft has shown us the path towards simplifying this offer so it's understandable and accessible for any user, but I also think we see the tension between power and safety. I do have one big idea here though. I would love to see an option for bringing the Power Apps card UI to Copilot extension through Copilot Studio. I think this would create a middle ground between the low-code needs of makers and the rigidity of Teams message extensions to allow makers to deliver more power quickly but assuring safety by integrating more checks and balances. I don't think I've seen anything that suggests pushing Power Apps through Copilot, but given what we already have here, I think this seems a logical step. I also think the ability to tag a particular extension in the Copilot chat, a feature that isn't there yet, will help to simplify this a lot. What do you think? Are you excited for this direction for Copilot Studio, or do you still think this model is too complex? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching through to the end. Until the next video, bye bye.